So today we had a school shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. This is a school in the DISD school district or the Dallas Independent School District. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the second shooting in as many years. There was another one that happened last year, matter of fact. And also, I I believe, if I believe correctly, this school was shut down a few years ago, but then it was reopened back up, I guess, and it hasn't really changed from when it shut down in the beginning. But let's watch a couple of videos of today's developments. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells every time I drop a video. You will be the first to know about it. And I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Let's hit it.
Brittany Moncrief is there. She was there a few moments ago, and she is talking to parents now. A pretty dramatic story you're hearing right now, Brittany. Tell us about it.
That's right. We actually are with Lawrence, whose son is in the school, and he actually was one of those students who ran when he heard the gunshots and jumped out the window and came here to the elementary school. Lawrence, tell me a little bit of what your son was telling you.
The boy
Well,
smart.
he told me he was in class in the A hall. He heard 2 to 6 shots ring out coming from around the B hall. So his teacher, whose class he was in, closed the door, in which allowed him and more students to jump out the window and seek shelter at the school next door.
As a parent, how are you feeling that your son just went through this?
Yeah, my oldest boy, he just went through it when he was a senior here last year, which so now his brother is going through it as a freshman. You know, something has to be done. And then, yeah, and all of the kids now, you know, at the stadium, and parents are having a hard time at getting to their kids to pick them up. So, like, it's just, yeah, it's things all over the place.
Yeah, I see.
So you got kids that know how to shoot, bring guns on campus, but they can't read. Rather go to school to fight, shoot, act up, but not go to school to learn. And this is what the media and a lot of silly people are starting to call black culture, which I can't stand. I hate that black culture because I'm black and I grew up black. And not once did I carry a gun to school or participate in gunplay on a school campus. Now I'm not gonna say that I sat in the front of the class and took great notes and made all A's on my assignments, but I did my classwork, didn't disrupt classes, very much, and graduated, and eventually ended up going, to college, and the rest is history over time. But I can't understand going to school. Maybe it's because I'm older. As a kid, you think differently, but I just can't understand going to school and terrorizing all these people. Now, these fools sitting up here shooting at each other. Because see, kids don't, as my dad used to say to me when I was a kid, boy, you don't think 2 inches off your ass sometime. It's like you don't think about anything else but your emotions right now, how you feel right now. You go and shoot somebody. Let's say you took that kid out, or that kid take you out. Now you have disrupted not only taking a life, but now you've disrupted your family's life. The person that you've taken out, you have ruined their life. You ruined your own family's life because now you're gonna get locked up for years and years at a time. For decades. The kids at their school, a lot of them will be traumatized because they probably seen the shooting, probably could see somebody fall. Now I ain't saying that somebody passed away here because I don't think they did, but you make it to where people don't. You as parents, you can't even drop your kids off at school without worrying that somebody's going to mess around and try to air it out over probably some little petty little beef that they should have boxed it out like we used to do back in the day. Let's continue.
See you shaking your head. Is there frustration there?
Yeah, of course. Like, it's 2 years in a row. Like, something has to be done. There's such, like, you go to drop off something, you got to show your ID, you got to go through several things to get in as parents. But, like, now, a gunman can slide through the crack, I guess.
And that's interesting that he said that. Because, like I say, when you go drop the kids off, pick them up, or you want to visit, you got to do background checks first, right? And then you gotta go to now, I think in DISD, you go through metal detectors, they wand you, you gotta put your stuff in a little bucket, all that kind of stuff to make sure you ain't got a weapon. But somehow, some way, some kid has found a way to bring weapons onto the school. They spend more time trying to figure out how to bring weapons, guns, drugs, whatever to school, skip school. But yet, if they use that same energy to actually pick up a book and read it, boy, these kids would be awesome. But anyway.
Yeah. And how do you feel? I know your son is safe. You were able to reunite with him.
Yeah. All is well now for me, but I can't say the same for all the other parents out here.
And then thank you again for speaking with us. And I'm glad you are safe and your son is safe and that you all were able to reunite back with each other. So, and that's just one of the many stories that we're finding here. Again, over at the elementary school, there's a group of high school students who immediately took off running when they heard those gunshots go off, and they ran here to the elementary. And that's where there's a line of parents still waiting to reunite with their children. Some of them high school students, some of them are the elementary schools. And we'll stand out here and continue to talk to parents and students as more are reunited with their families. Chris?
And Brittany, just a quick question. I just want to go back to something that he just said. He had a son at school last year, senior year. He goes through a school shooting, rushes to the school, makes sure his son is okay. The son graduates. His younger child is now a freshman, and he's back at the very same school going through the exact same thing. It's hard to understand how that could happen.
It is, Chris. And, there's a lot of questions that parents have here. And that one question there is how? How could this happen again? As you mentioned, this one parent, his son went through it last year, his senior year, and now his freshman son is going through the same thing. And it's almost just 3 days after the date from last year, which was April 12th. We're April 15th. And so this is almost just a year later, a similar incident has happened again. So naturally, parents are frustrated and they have a lot of questions and they want to know why.
Brittany, you were outside the elementary school. I believe it's just right around the corner from you, right there. I'm sure it went on lockdown as soon as this happened at the high school, which is just north of it. There, they share the same property. But is it regular dismissal, from what you can tell, there at the elementary school as well?
Okay, let's go to this next video. Like I said, that's a sad situation. What's interesting, the positive note is the father was there. They actually interviewed the father. Yes, he had on braid, dreadlocks, or whatever you want to call them, but you have a father there who's there for his sons. His oldest son, graduated from high school last year, and now he has another son in high school. So it seems like a father who's in his children's lives and his boys' lives, making sure they get at least get a high school education. Now, I would like to know exactly like what his oldest son is doing now. Whether he's going to school or pick up a trade or working or whatever. I mean, but it's great. It's good to see a father actually interview a father who talks like he got some kind of sense and understanding and not acting irrational, and not acting crazy and talking loud and stuff like that and very emotional. He talked calm, cool, collected like a man should. That's why it's important to have fathers in your boys' lives and have fathers as leaders in the community. But you got some people who don't believe, who think they can do it on their own, don't need no man to help them out. And that's the thing, because especially when you're in neighborhoods like this, areas like this, and we'll get into some statistics here shortly, to where you need male figures in the neighborhood to keep the community at least at peace, some sort. But anyway, let's go. We're gonna watch this next little video, some of this, and let's talk about, I guess, some of the people that got transported to hospitals.
We want to remind folks you're watching breaking news coverage of a shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. We do have much more information than we did when we first came on the air and when we first came online. 3 victims have been transported to Baylor Hospital, 1 transported to Methodist Hospital. That information coming to us from Dallas Fire Rescue. All of them have non-life-threatening injuries. This all started to unfold just after 1 o'clock when Dallas police responded to reports of shots fired on campus. Dallas Police DISD and Dallas Police both saying they will not be doing a news conference of any sort right now with us. However, we can pass along the information that they've asked us to update you on. And the most important piece of that is this: the school has been secured. There is no more danger afoot here on campus, and they are asking families to avoid campus. Please.
And that's cool. It was kind of strange that they were transported to, what they say, Baylor and Methodist, because Baylor and Methodist are both hospitals that are like in pretty much downtown Dallas, close to downtown Dallas. And Wilmer-Hutchins is located like south of Dallas. South of Dallas. So I'm wondering, because I know there's a couple, well, I guess where it's located, hell, it may not be in the hospitals like worth going to close to Wilmer-Hutchins High School. But anyway, I said we're gonna get to some statistics because this is sad. Like I say, kids would rather they put all their energy into doing some kind of violence or non-constructive behavior, but they don't put that same effort into their own lives. Like they don't care. Like what causes these youngins to not really give a damn? You always had kids who like act like they didn't care, or maybe didn't care a little bit, but it wasn't as widespread as it is now. Like I said, I believe Wilmer-Hutchins was shut down like a few years ago. Then they opened it back up, probably because they needed a school down there in that area. But let's check this out. This is from usnews.com, and these are statistics of Wilmer-Hutchins High School. It says, you see the ranking, 13,242 out of 17,655 nationwide. In Texas, they're 1,258 out of 1,555 in Texas high schools. And in Dallas, hell, let's just look at the Dallas Independent School District, number 29 out of 37, which means there are worse schools in Wilmer-Hutchins. God, that's okay. The worst schools in Wilmer-Hutchins, but Wilmer-Hutchins is in the bottom tier. And if you look over here at this scorecard, just look at this. Took at least one AP exam, got 17%. Passed at least one AP exam, 1%. Mathematics proficiency, 9%. You mean to tell me only 9% of the kids in that school are proficient, which means and on their grade level, they understand the math at their grade level. Only 9%. And this is what, 2024? Lord mercy. Reading proficiency, 27%. Science, as you can see, 22%. Proficiency and graduation rate is 75%. Why does this not make sense? Because you can add all these percentages up and it won't even equal to 75%. How is it that only 9% of your students understand math at a grade level? So which means it ain't too many seniors. And reading, math and reading, like the two top things that you definitely need to know when you graduate high school, because I mean, that's what you need when you get older and when you try to get out into the world and get a job, pay bills, try to get careers, or even go to college or start a business or what have you. You need to know how to read and do math in order to get out of your situation. You know, if you are like in poverty. But you're going to tell me that only 27% of the students in your school are proficient in reading, but 75% of your students graduate? This is the problem with the school systems. I know President Trump is getting rid of the education, or whatever the educational board is national. I can't think of it right now. But they need to go all the way. The states need to start looking at this stuff too, at their school boards, education departments, because there's no way in hell a person should be able to graduate. That many people can graduate, and damn near none of them can read or do 2 + 2. You got to make that crap make sense to me. You really do. Let's look at this enrollment. You see, there's 316 ninth graders, 289 10th graders, which is about 700 kids, 226, that's about 900 kids, 189. So like little over what, 12, over 1,112, well, there you go, 1,000, 20 kids. in the school. Minority enrollment, 99%. Amazing. 47%, 48.7% black, 48.5% Hispanic, 1% white. Like I always ask you, where are the white children in these schools? Just look them up. Look up the schools that your kids go to and see how many white kids are there. They ain't got none. Where are they at? Better pay attention and find them white kids because they doing something they doing something that y'all don't know nothing about, and they're gonna leave y'all behind. It says 73% of Wilmer-Hutchins High School students are in total economic disadvantage. I see 49% female, 51% male. Okay. 72% is on the free lunch program, and 1% is reduced price lunch program. You know, back in the day, if a certain amount of kids was on like the free lunch program, hell, they just put all of them on free lunch program. But now they're like, hell no, if you can afford to pay half their lunch, you're gonna pay it. But it's only 1%. Out of 1,000 kids, what's that, 10 kids? Test scores at Wilmer. Now this is what's disheartening. 9%. What is this? Mathematics. This is who passed the STAR test. So this is like that test today. This is the reason why they don't teach in school. And they all they do is teach toward this test so they can get funding, federal funding, right? Only 9% of the students passed the STAR test in math, and district average is 41%, and the state average is 40%. So look here, you're not, my God, see, you're not even half, not even a quarter in passing that the district is passing. 27% reading in school, and the district wide is 53%, and in science 22%, district wide is 56%. And y'all can read this, and you know I'll put the description in the description down in the I'll put the links down in the description box below so y'all can look at this. And like I said, look up your own school. Look up the schools that your kids go to and just see if they actually learning. If they're not, this is why I said in videos that if kids cannot read or do math, you got to blame the parents first, because parents are the initial teachers of children, period. When your kids are in the womb, they hear everything you say, everything you do. They feed off everything you eat, what you drink, drugs, no drugs, or whatever. Kids are recipients of that. When they come out the womb, the way you talk to them, if you pay attention to them, if you show them any kind of attention, if you read to them, if you don't, if you try to teach them how to tie their shoes, how to teach them how to read, teach them how to say their name, write their name, teach them how to color, or you don't, let them watch Sesame Street, let them watch stuff that actually teach them, educate them, instead of letting them getting on these devices and just looking up crap that's only destroying their mind. That's the parents. Them first 5 years, your kids can learn so much and get a foundation in those first 5 years. You'll be amazed. But a lot of parents be like, they too young. I'll teach them this. I'll teach them later. Teach them how to read later. I'll teach them how to, about the birds and the bees later. Or sex, as I say birds and bees. I teach them about procreation later. You even got parents who let their kids wear diapers to first and second grade. And I'm like, man, there's no way in hell you can be that sorry. Because like I said, my daughters was on that toilet at the age of 1, both of them. The day of their birthday, both of them. Potty training them. As a parent, taking time out to teach them how to go to the restroom like young ladies. But I always say even when I was teaching softball, I was coaching softball, you should tell the parents, look, only have your kids 1, maybe 2 hours a week before games on the weekends. If you could, for 15 minutes a day, just catch and throw with them. Just practice with them. That's it. That's all it takes. And I say that because, or I might even say just 5 minutes a day, throwing, catching, throwing. Because my thing is, once the goal is just for the parents just to get them out there with the child. Once they're out there with the child, that 5 minutes will turn to 10 minutes, will turn to 15, will turn to 30. And before you know it, it'll be an hour out there. and they'll be out there practicing with them. That's all I want, is for parents to engage with their children, show interest. Because if you show interest in what your kids do, they're more likely to show more interest in that and will try to excel in it just to please you. But hey, what do I know? I just got 2 kids that, graduate, what I'm saying, that one of them graduated and another one is about to graduate. So what do I know, right? It say underserved student performance, percentage of underserved students who are proficient, 21%. That's great. They're not great, but it's good to see that that not all underserved students are, are just, being in the victim Olympics and saying that they can't learn because they ain't got no money. Percentage of non-underserved students who are proficient, 24.5%. But they're not good numbers. It's just saying, hey, you can't, you can't use that excuse. If somebody can pass, that means you can pass. That's one thing I used to always say, is that if somebody just give me the same tools that they got, I can do the same thing anybody else can do. Just give me the same tools and opportunity. And I don't know, I might be able to do it quicker. It might take a longer time, might be a little harder for me to do it, but I can get it done. But yeah, like I said, I'll put this link in the description box. But man, yeah, sad, man. Another school shooting. I'm sure more details will come out this evening and probably tomorrow whenever the police do a press conference and give you more details. But regardless of what they say, this should never happen on school grounds. Kids should be going to school to learn, and that is it. And to learn discipline, to learn their lesson, and that is it. Not to go out there and to cause disruption. If you want to live a disruptive, chaotic lifestyle, then do it at home. Do it at your own house. Do it by yourself. Don't involve 1,020 kids into your shenanigans and stupidity, because they ain't did nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Just blame your mama, blame your daddy, but don't take it out on the kids. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you would like to support us financially, you can always get a super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or you can go to the description box and click on a couple of links there where you can help support us that way. Now, if you like something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, you can go to marlonmorale.com or hit our Shopify store, or just hit that shop button below. See the products. We got luxury, high-end products that I know you will love. We got fragrances, we got silk products, beard products, handbags, and much more. Check it out. You and your loved ones will love it. With that being said, I leave you in peace. Hey, like I said, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the other side.